Douglas. There's thousands of us. Isaac and Betsy Bailey had over a dozen children. You understand? I come through one of their children named Betsy. Frederick comes through one of their children named Harriet. And then they had other children. I'm not a direct descendant of Frederick Douglass, but I'm a direct descendant of his cousin and half-brother who he grew up with. Okay? I'm not a relative of Frederick Douglass by marriage. I'm a relative of Frederick Douglass by blood. By blood. You understand? The blood that ran in Frederick Douglass' veins runs in my veins. Bailey family. Certified Bailey family. Okay? So that Terrence Bailey shit, I'm going to leave that alone. I just wanted to clarify that because I know some of y'all needed me to answer that. Okay? So the next time he start his shit, just ask him a real simple question. Real simple. Is Umar Johnson and Frederick Douglass both descendants of Isaac and Betsy Bailey? That's it. No more conversation. Is Umar Johnson and Frederick Douglass, are they both descendants of Isaac and Betsy Bailey? That's it. That's the only question you need for his bitch ass. Excuse my French. Let's go back to the call. Do we have another question on the line?
Oh, yeah, it's getting real funny now. Yeah, go ahead and laugh now with your big ass. All right. I think he said by blood, right? He said by blood. Let me say it again. And I went into my account and I looked for him. Nowhere to be found. I told other family members, I said, go into your account and look for him. Nobody else found him. So it became obviously clear that Umar Johnson's father, by whom that Umar Johnson claims to be related to Frederick Douglass and the Bailey family, is not related to Frederick Douglass nor the Bailey family. When asked, were there any Baileys at all on your list, he wouldn't answer the question. He started ducking and diving every question. And I told him, I said, man, you know what? I think that this should be something that you should address. You should go public with this. And I'm going to wait and let you do it or whatever. But, quite naturally, anybody with common sense would know that that offer comes with that's a limited time offer, because we talked about my family name, and then on top of that, I'm only 43 years old, so I'm not an elder in my family. I got people in my family that I have to answer to. I have elders. And just so happens that a little 17-year-old in the family fishing around on Facebook saw the Facebook post because he put the stuff out on Facebook. And I told him, I said, man, why you putting it out on Facebook? I said, that's going to cause more problems than none. He said, well, it's out there now, it's done. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is going to cause problems. But this is a 61-year-old man, what can I do? And he's not my father. You know what I'm saying? So I can't persuade him to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? If it was my father, I probably could have persuaded him to take it down. So my 17-year-old cousin happens to see it, and she brings it up to the elders. The elders come to me, and they're like, so, and they look at the comments or whatever, so what's this mess? And I tell them, and I'm like, well, I'm trying to give him an opportunity to come out and clear the air and come out and be honest. And my elder's like, oh, we we ain't trying to hear that mess. That boy's son, you know what I'm saying, stole $1 million on our family name. So we ain't trying to hear that. So they're like, well, you need to do something. We didn't put you out front for a reason, so you need to do something. Cause that boy's son then stole $1 million for a school that don't exist using our family name. So you better do something. So I guess here I am. Because the last I heard, he was supposed to meet with 2 scholars today in D.C. Two Frederick Douglass historians. One was a reporter and a Douglassonian. The other, who I actually just got off the phone with, who is the curator of Cedar Hill. And he called me this morning, wanting to know if the meeting was still on, that he was going to be there for this meeting, Dr. Kamal. And he was going to be there for this meeting to look at the information, which this particular doctor has known for a couple years that Umar Johnson was not related. And he really didn't need to see the information, the DNA reports, because he had done his own independent research, because Umar would come into Cedar Hill with a bunch of kids and be in there running his mouth. So he did his own independent research. So he already knew that Umar wasn't related. And he instructed the staff at Cedar Hill to just treat him like a regular customer, because the whole staff already knew that he wasn't related. So they were instructed to just treat him like a regular customer, because he had challenged Umar on several occasions and then went back and checked his story, and his story didn't check out. So he already knew that Umar Johnson was not related, and this is at my Uncle Fred's house. So when I would go there, and I'd be talking to the staff, and I was like, well, when's the last time Umar Johnson been here? And I was like, who the fake? I'm like, yeah, the fat fake. And they were like, yeah, he comes here probably maybe once or twice a year. And I was like, well, he's not related. And they cut me off. They were like, we know he's not related. We know he's not a part of you and Kenny's family. I'm like, okay. I'm like, so what goes on when he comes here? It was like, well, we treat him like a regular part of staff because this is a government facility or whatever. So now that we have the DNA evidence, and on top of that, the money that he's stolen, then I'm going to talk to Kamal about an actual, actually barring him from the facility. And now, with the about 6 months ago, I sent an email to him telling him that if he was caught in my family graveyard again, he would be arrested for trespassing, because there's nobody in that graveyard that he has a blood tie to for a reason why he should be in there, especially not taking pictures, which is why we are putting up a security fence here very soon from dusk till from a dawn to dusk security guard. They will only let in people for funeral services and people to come in and put in flowers and stuff like that by appointment because of him and people like him. And it's a shame that black folk got to do stuff like this because of people like him. Now we have the DNA evidence that that he is not actually related. And we have the DNA evidence now. His father took the test, and we can subpoena his father's test from Ancestry if his father would not come forward. And since since this game is going to be played where he doesn't want to, he wants to take his time and do this and do this, and he said, well, I'm going to hire a genealogist. Well, you can hire a genealogist, but that ain't got a damn thing to do with us. You can hire a genealogist to figure out who in your family told that damn lie. But on this side, DNA don't lie. And you get them black folk to say, well, Ancestry is owned by the Mormons and blah, 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 and this, that, and the other, and yada, 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 yada. And, okay, well, explain that to that cop out west who, while he was cop, he was a serial killer and killed 25 women. And then he started working at Home Depot or some crap like that, or Lowe's or something like that for like the next 18 years. And then they used Ancestry.com to pin 25 murders on his ass. Now he's sitting in prison right now. And guess what? He wasn't black. He was white. And it wasn't him that did the ancestry test. It was one of his relatives. And well, they had to get a sample from him, but he didn't turn it in. They found it in the